Okay, today's video, we're going to talk about how you can have your banner ads show up on your competitors' videos on their YouTube channels or on other people's YouTube channels that are reviewing your competitors' products or services, which is also another very profitable thing you can do in your market that if you're not doing right now, you're leaving a ton of money on the table. I'm going to talk about the exact strategy that I would use to do this actual thing, having a banner ad show up right directly as you normally see banner ads show up on videos while you're watching YouTube ads, which of course are pretty annoying unless they're going to see an ad like I'm going to show you here to do, which is why they're actually going to make money, a lot of money, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do this for yourself so you make that kind of extra money for yourself as well, the way that I'm doing it for our clients time and time again. Of which, if you're making $10,000 a month in profit from your Google Ads account right now, you add this one strategy to your overall system, you'll make an additional $1,000 a month in profit on autopilot once this is set up. You know, basically an extra 10% extra profit from your account on a regular basis just doing this one single thing for yourself. So with that said, I'm going to explain how and why this system works so well and how to do it for yourself by the end of the video. So this is a continuation actually of my video where, should I say, I've created a couple of videos about this topic where I've talked about running custom video ads in I got screwed up for a second. In-stream video ads that show up on your competitor's video. So you could actually target your competitor's videos two actual ways. You can have while you're watching the competitor's video, there could be a video ad that pops up, which could be your ad, your video ad, or you could have a banner ad show up at the bottom of the video while your competitor's video is playing and your competitor's prospects are watching that video. Both of which, by the way, are very good, and you should actually do both. Why this banner ad is an even better opportunity for most of you guys watching this video with limited resources, we'll just say, limited time, which really you should have time for both anyway because they both pay for themselves, even if you had to pay someone to set this up for yourself. The reason why the banner ads specifically here on the competitor videos is such a great opportunity is because it allows you to very, very easily have a custom ad for every single competitor that is a direct competitor of yours, as well as every single, if you're selling a product that your competitor sells. So you have a laser targeted ad to convince somebody who's looking at a very specific offer, very specific product, to talk to them directly on what they're actually going to care about, or what's really going to get underneath their skin enough to stop exactly what they're doing, i.e. watching that video, and get over to your site, landing page, which really it should be a dedicated landing page that explains more why your offer is better than that person's offer that they were considering by watching the video. Which, by the way, you can actually take this banner ad right here and send them to a YouTube video itself. That's not illegal to do, which we do that sometimes. For the most part though, I could I'll send my banner ad traffic to a landing page, even if I have a video ad that, you know, it's easier to convey what I need to convey in a video. I'll send them to a landing page where the landing page is on my website, has my video ad there so that they're one step away from actually going in and clicking on another ad on YouTube. Because the whole battle with YouTube is, of course, it's easy to just click on another video and, you know, go back to what you were doing. Once you get them into your site, it's a little bit hard to go, or it's harder to go back to YouTube again. You have to click their back button. It takes more activation energy to go, you know, stop what they were doing, which is to consider what they saw in your ad that was interesting and now on your landing page, than it is to just see your video and then click skip on the video ad and then just go back to watching the video that they were. So it's kind of like doing a sale in person with somebody if they came to your business versus doing it online. Obviously, it takes less work to sell to them in person because it's not so easy to just go back to what they were doing, reading that article, whatever they were doing at the time. So in either case, whether you're running a video ad though on your competitors' videos or a banner ad on your competitors' videos to siphon away really, really, really good traffic and leads and customers away from your or clients away from your competitor, you want a custom message on the video that the consumer is going to see, the competitor's prospect's going to see, as well as the same thing if they see it, your ad via this banner ad spot that you can have that your opportunity to advertise in that competitor's video. Why? Because people that use generic messaging to try to sell to their audiences don't actually do a very good job when they're too generic in what they're saying. So obviously the more specific you can be, the more relevant you're going to be, the more likely somebody's going to give a shit about what you're saying on your ad, the more likely it's going to be profitable. And you have to be so enticing with your advertising to make it work, because even though you're paying per click, if you get a low cost per click, your cost per click is going to go higher. And if it gets so high, you don't break even after all your expenses of your, what it costs to deliver your service or product, the ad spend, all of that. So your goal is to get as high of click-through on your ad as possible. The easiest way to get the highest click-through rate possible is to consider the exact video that the consumer is watching, and I do mean the exact video, and figuring out exactly what you could say that would compel that person to stop watching that exact video and go and consider your offer. And when I say exact video, it could be a video, you could group them together. So in other words, what we'll usually do if somebody's looking at a video about product, Callaway golf driver, model number XJ12. All the videos regarding reviews and videos about that XJ12 golf club will have the same message on our video ad and on our banner ad that shows up for people on those videos, but we know exactly that they're looking for information on that XJ12 club. So we want to talk about how we're better than that XJ12 club specifically, because that's what's going to bring in buku bucks, once we've done that. And it takes a lot of work though to do that, because you're probably saying, hey Corey, well, you know how much time that's going to take? Yes, it is going to take a lot of time. It pays for itself, like I said, and even if you have to make a custom video for every single competitor that you have and every single competitor's product that you have, if you're doing e-commerce or product sales, you can do that same thing, making a custom ad and a custom message that shows up for everybody, for every competitor that you have like that, doing it when you're doing this banner ad spot and doing banner advertising on these videos. It's easy to just make another banner ad. That's simple. Making a whole nother video for every single competitor, that takes way more time. So if you really want this to work, you got to make a custom ad for every competitor, but it's not that much work to do it on the banner ad to be able to do that. So what I always like to do to execute this for our clients, to get the really low-hanging fruit that we can pick in their market this way, just pilfering customers away from our competitor who spent all their time and money and effort to gather a crowd who's interested in their product, and then we come in at the last second saying, we're cheaper, we're better, the other person sucks, we don't, and then capturing that attention through that opportunity and get them to our site. Some people will buy, some won't. But this person is typically, we know if they're considering that product, that they're price qualified, that they're interested in actually buying. They aren't just considering it, but they're probably, they are serious that they're going to buy most times. And from that's the best traffic that you can get on the internet, is somebody who's already been pre-vetted by that competitor. So we want to grab every opportunity at that level that we can get. Much more profitable than advertising to somebody who even is searching on Google search for somebody in our space, at least when you're talking about products and services that have, where people have to do some research beforehand to know if they're going to buy. If you have a broken toilet, this doesn't apply. But anything that sells up for under over $100 or more, there's research involved. This is the absolute best way to get traffic and customers, because you're just getting them where they're already went through and been filtered out of, the process of, because when people first get in your market and they're considering buying, a bunch of them never buy. 80% of them who start out thinking they might buy don't buy, and 20% of them do. With this method, you can go directly to the 20% that's just left over. Now you got to do is just make a slightly better argument that you're just slightly better than that competitor after they spend all the hard work to market and get market awareness around your solution, your type of solution in your market. And that's it, you got the customer. So with that said, there's several ways that you can structure what you say on this banner ad that should be customized for that exact competitor that the person's considering, that's going to get them interested enough to stop what they're doing, watching that video, come to a landing page that you've constructed so you can expand further why you're better than that exact competitor or competitor's product. You want to, on their banner ad, you're going to focus on just one or at the very most 2 simple things why you're better than that competitor to get that user's attention so that they'll click through your ad. Of your options, the 4 main options you have to go with this that we've used, that we know already work, that are pre-vetted, and that you can use for your stuff, first of which would be the price comparison. You do a comparison between your price of your product or products as a whole, just in general, and the competitor's product that is featured on that video. So to give you an example here, you have to, the more stupid simple that you make this, the better it's going to work. You want it to be so simple that just by looking at the ad for 2 seconds, you know what it's trying to convey, and you know what you're basically going to be able to see more about if you click to that ad. If you sell tennis rackets, you're not going to say, we sell tennis rackets for 29% cheaper. Much better to say, tennis racket A, which is what the video is about, is tennis racket A. Cost is $129. Our tennis racket is $109. And what we like to do in this type of situation is put the name of that product so they know that we're talking about the exact product that they're watching a video about. Put a strike through the price of that product, point an arrow to the price of our product. And so at the very least, even if they didn't click through the ad, they already know that our product's cheaper, what product's cheaper, how much it's cheaper, and of course, from there, if they click through our ad, they're going to be able to see more about that product. So for the person that clicks through that ad, they're going to be super qualified at that point, but it's so relevant to the video that they're watching that you're going to get a click-through rate on your ad over 1%, which in the display advertising or banner advertising world, that's a huge number. We've gotten click-through rates on these ads like this 2-3%, which will get your cost per click down to 5 cents effectively. And get a 5-cent click from somebody who's considering your product, your competitor's product, that's like a ridiculous proposition to get that. But more importantly, the traffic's already profitable. We could pay 75 cents a click and make money because of how qualified the traffic is. The main thing is that we're able to get 2% of the people who's watching this video to come to our site and consider our product first. And consider our product in a way that we know that we can compete, i.e. we're cheaper. So that's one really effective way to get somebody who's already pre-qualified by the competitor for you, gathered an audience for you, and you get them to come and buy at the last second. The other way that you could do this would be a quality comparison. When it comes to quality, you got to think of ways to convey to your market in a way that they would be able to, in 2 seconds, understand your better quality. Usually, to do this, you try to rely on symbols or institutions. You could simply say, product A, going back to the same formula, which I recommend this exact formula for you. Product A, which is the name of the product of the video that's featured on the video that they're watching. Product A, not BBB rated. Product B, which is your product. Name of your product, BBB A+ rated. So they know right away, you can't miss this. Oh, what? Wait, what? This product isn't BBB A+ rated, but the other company's is? Then you drive the traffic to your site. It gets their interest peaked enough to go review the rest of the stuff about your company. Which, by the way, if you're going to do this right, you send them to a landing page that doesn't talk about your product and that's it. You send them to a landing page that talks further about the differences between your product and the competitor's product. Ideally, you do a video review comparing your product and the other product side by side. And have a video review done by a third party who does the same thing, so it doesn't look like you're being impartial. Then you talk about other things, why you're different on the level of price, quality, all these other things. And you have a nice long sales page that goes over everything cross-compared. You have a nice little table that also sums it up. Here's what you get with this product you were considering. Here's what you get with ours. Here's the difference. And then they're going to buy then, because you've actually done the work necessary to have that person give you a chance. If you expect them to just go to your site and buy it just off of the fact that you said that you're A+ BBB rated and that's it, some will, not enough. Yeah, if you had an amazing product, quite a few would. But why not get the rest of the sales by telling them the rest of why you're different about that competitor in a way that's going to make it easy for them to know what that is? Because if you don't all outline that for them on your custom landing page that you're sending people to, then they're going to have to figure that out anyway. And the harder somebody has to work, by definition, to decide how and if they're going to buy, the less people are going to buy. So why not just spoon feed it for them? This is the reason why we're better. Reason 1, reason 2, reason 3, reason 4. Summarized. Here's how to buy. That's the golden formula that's going to make you a shitload of money selling any product that you have. Services are also the same. Products, it works considerably better, but for service or product, it works fantastic. So you could do a quality comparison like that, doing like the A+ BBB rated thing. You could also say what's really hot now is saying you're USA manufactured or whatnot there. So you could say product A, made in China. Product B, made in Jacksonville, USA. So you're thinking right away, wait a second. They were thinking what they were seeing looks interesting on the video, but I didn't know it was made in China. And you got them questioning what they were going to almost about ready to buy, just enough to get their attention. And then you have to do the rest of, you have got to carry that person the rest of the way. You got to do the rest of your job explaining what else is different about yours that makes it effectively a better decision than the other thing. If they were going to buy the other thing, now they're going to buy yours. So that's another way you could do this using this general ad formula. This is the product you were considering, and this is what it has. This is our product. This is what it has with an arrow. Exactly like this formula I'm showing you here. Review comparison. Going back to what I said before. The easiest way to get someone's attention on an ad in a way that's going to get you maximum click-through rate and maximum ROI and maximum sales is to, whatever you're saying and however you're trying to communicate to that user to say why you're better, you do it in a way that uses language that people know by saying 1 or 2 words what exactly you mean. When you say BBB A+ rating, everybody knows what that is. So by saying something that takes a third of a second to say, people know exactly what that ultimately means. If you're saying you're better quality, what does that mean? That's subjective. Ultimately saying, so you got to think of a way to communicate that just by saying something very minor, people already know from prior experience in their life what that actually means. USA made, everybody knows what that is. That's why that's a good one. Another way to do this, though, is to communicate what your average review score is on Google, Yelp, Facebook, whatever you have there. and put that on the ad. Because everybody knows what a 4.6 rating on Google is or on Amazon is. So you could put, literally speaking, which granted, I will tell you this might piss off your competitors if they see it. Chances are they probably won't notice it, or at least for a long time. But you put competitor A, average review score on Amazon, 3.7. Product B, average review score, 4.9. If you've seen that, just put yourself in the user's shoes there. Are you at least going to kind of see what the hell this product is and this company that's saying that their product's rated so much more than this other product? Of course you are. That's why you're going to get a click-through rate of 2-3%. So that's a very effective way to go about doing things as well. As a small side note about pissing the competitor off, some of you guys are afraid to do that, and I understand. To do what I'm talking about here and actually naming the competitor on the ad, if the competitor's name is trademarked, technically it would be a trademark violation, and you would have that to potentially deal with. If you guys are worried about that specifically, which is just a civil violation, obviously, you're not going to jail for this. And any of the times that you are violating trademark, they'll message you and they'll say, through the mail and say, stop doing it. But in the meantime, you might have really profited off of that for a year already before they even noticed it. But instead of saying the exact competitor, you could say, this product, literally, like this. This product with an arrow pointing upwards. So on your ad, it says this product, arrow pointing upwards, implying the video and the product that you're watching on the video, this product has a 3.9 rating on Amazon. So without even saying the competitor's name, you could convey the same exact thing without the trademark violation. Clever, huh? So anyway, that's a workaround if you're worried about some of the stuff. Obviously, that still might piss the competitor off, but at the end of the day, I don't understand why. I mean, I kind of understand why people say it makes you look weak if you talk bad about a competitor. At the end of the day, the customer is going to be if they're going to be better off going with you than the competitor because they're going to get a better value. How is it wrong to communicate to that user so they get a better experience, better value for their money? You don't lie, but when it comes to communicating the actual hard truth, it's just like saying investigative journalism. It's wrong to go out there and expose businesses that don't have a good offering. How is that any different than this? Your job as a marketer is to communicate to your market why you're better than the other people in the market if you got a better offer. So, and if you don't, you're going to go out of business. So like, there's no way around it really. I just really don't understand how people necessarily, I think they just take the idea too far. Yes, if you talk bad about your competitors, it does make you look weak, but at the same time, that's the one key piece of information that people would want to know more than anything. Because if they're going to buy from your market, it's just a matter of them trying to figure out who is the best person. And when nobody else is they're too squeamish to do a comparison between them and the competitor, how is the consumer going to know anyway? They can't know. That's why you got to take the time and do that research for them, and they make their own mind up after you put forward the facts. Anyway, I won't talk anymore on that. The feature comparison is the fourth way you can do this ad setup. So with this feature comparison, you can find a key cool feature about your product or service that makes it different than that competitor. And you say product A does not have, 2-hour charging. Product B, we could put the name of your product. If you put the name of your product, by the way, it kind of cues curiosity because they want to know what it is. Or you could say, instead of product B, you could put our product and put 4-hour charging. So they can see what, the product they were looking at on the video is 2-hour charging. We have 4-hour charging. But if you put the name of the competitor there in this spot, I would typically put your name of your product or service there on this spot. if you're going to put on this spot here instead of the competitor name, you're going to put this product and then the arrow pointing up to the what's on the video. I would put our product over here because it makes things more congruent. So you can do what you want there. You can test it out, different ways there, but that's the basic way that we're doing it. Either or there. Either saying this product, our product, or their product name and then our product name. So anyway, those are the 4 main ways to do this ad setup to drive super, super, super qualified traffic to your site that's going to convert at a super high rate. Convert at a high rate, not instantly, but in terms of the amount of share of the market you're going to get by adding this to your overall online marketing plan, you're going to end up with a much higher percentage of people that are online searching and considering a product on an ongoing basis to buy from you, which is what this is all truly all about. You should be considering how much does it expand my share of market and how much does it expand my overall sales, given a lot of people who click on this ad, should I say 99% of people who click on this ad isn't going to be buying instantly. They got to think about it for a while. People this is a major misconception about banner ads. They think because people don't click through an ad and buy immediately, it doesn't work, which is really idiotic considering TV ads and billboard ads, all that stuff. If that was the case, all of that's a complete waste because nobody can buy from that right away. So all the people who spend money on that, are they all just wasting all their money? It's a ridiculous concept to think about things that way. You get people who you know are highly likely to buy soon to come to your site so that you can influence that buyer, because if you influence that buyer, the statistical likelihood that they're going to buy from you versus somebody else in the market is now higher than it was before. You get a conversion lift from that section of the market that was watching your competitors' videos because they saw your ad and came to your site. That's what this is all about. So with that, you don't want to track if somebody's clicking through the ad and buying right away. What you do track to figure out that this is working and just to get the most out of this in general, you're going to set up conversion tracking to track micro conversions. So if you're doing e-commerce, you can track the purchases with your campaign. That's great. But for the most part, like I said, most people aren't going to buy right away. So if you're just expecting to know if this campaign works and to guide it really well just by tracking the cart purchases, you won't do very well. I recommend setting up a SMART goal so that anybody who's been to the site more than 3 minutes, that is marked as a conversion. And instead of going just strictly for the cart sales, go 100% for the people that are going to come to your site and then spend more than 3 minutes on the site. 3 minutes more on the site weeds out all the bot clicks, all the click farm people, so that Google's algorithm is going to try to optimize to get you, of course, more quality people. And in general, because you're going to use manual bidding, it'll tell you male, female, age demographics that work better than others, time of the day of the week, states that the users are from that work better than others, so you can do bid modification on each one of these individual levels and do it based upon whatever is driving the most 3-minute or more visits to the site. Not the cart sales, because you're not going to get enough cart sales to do any clear, good optimization on that site. Now, the campaign might be just so profitable that you'll take every click no matter who they are, but even then, it's much better to have that data so that you can identify where you should be spending 2, 3, 4 times as much per click than other parts of the traffic that you're pulling from that video. So, because ultimately, if you advertise on these videos, you're not guaranteed to show up in that video every time. Not unless you're spending, a high amount per click. So, ultimately, you could just bid as high, really, really high and just show up there pretty much every time. But it's more feasible to have that data coming in and know which part of the traffic that watches those competitor videos is worth showing up every time versus not. That's how you get maximum value out of the opportunity. Still, at the end of the day, or as a side. If you're doing lead generation, don't just use whether a lead was generated from your site this traffic, from this banner ad traffic that you get, to guide the campaign. You must do something called offline conversion tracking. And the leads that come in, you need to verify through a CRM or something. You need to verify if those leads are good quality leads or not. And when the lead is marked good or shown to be good quality, you're going to take that information, you're going to pass it back to your Google Ads account. So inside your banner ad campaign here, you can track how many qualified leads you got, not just a lead was generated. And the reason for that is because going back to the bot clicks and the click farms, there's people that hire offshore contractors in Asia that are paid to watch videos, and they do it in the US as well, watch videos, and they pay them for every video they watch so that they can get to screw with, your ads, your competitors' ads to make money from their channel as well. There's different stuff that's going on, and granted, most of these videos are going to be on your competitor's channel, so the likelihood that they're paying somebody to click on their ads to make extra money from AdSense is not obviously high then, in that case. But on the videos that are not on your competitors' channels, there is a good chance of that. So you're going to be able to weed out, in other words, some of the bad traffic and using the data about the lead level qualified leads, and using that data that indicates what leads were qualified to guide the campaign versus just whether a lead was came in or not. Given the people that run these click farms and are trying to make money off of your back as an advertiser, they're going to do it by paying somebody to watch the video and then clicking through the ad and then go to the form and fill out the form. They give them as part of these instructions so that they can more easily fool Google that the views that they're getting on their videos is actually a real view, which is smart, because ultimately Google knows if you basically all the views on your channel and the clicks that you got through your ads on your channel were they didn't ever convert, they would be able to weed you out and sniff out what you're doing. So they instruct these people that they are paying to click on and watch their videos to actually go through and fill out a fake form on your site. So with all that said, basically, at the end of the day, to really do well with this, beyond just once the message is right and the targeting is right, you're targeting your competitors' videos with a specific message of why you're better, and then sending them to a part of your website that's a dedicated page that expands on why you're better than that exact competitor they were considering and watching on the video that they came from. You do tracking of 3-minute plus visitors or leads that are qualified, and you use that to guide your campaign, and you do bid adjustments on all the different levels of your campaign, time of the day of the week, age, gender, so on and so on, to get that campaign and get the most out of it. So, and realistically, going back to what I was saying before, there's something called MER, or media efficiency ratio. Because most people that click through your ad aren't going to buy right away, like I was talking about before, what you want to see, I advise clients all the time to do this, go ahead and create a spreadsheet, go back 3 years by month, January, February, March, all like that, all the way for 3 years back. So the last 36 months with the data, put your sales data into the spreadsheet, and then also put by month there, going back 3 years, your ad spend by month. And then once you start this strategy, watch how your overall sales are going up. You can also put on that sheet sales from Google Ads if you want, but your main thing that's important here is you put your overall sales by month. And when you kick on this strategy, because you're going to be, almost everybody in your space who's considering buying is going to watch at least one of your competitors' videos. At least, we'll say at least 20% of the people in your market are going to be watching these competitors' videos, at least one of them. Every single one of those people, you're going to be able to basically get in front of those almost every time, or enough that you should overall see your overall sales revenue going up, given a bunch of people who again, click on your ad, go to your landing page, aren't going to buy right away. They're going to buy 3 weeks from now when they get paid or they finally are ready to buy or what have you. And the tracking is not going to be good enough most of the time to pick up, even though it's supposed to. A lot of people think because if somebody clicks on an ad and then they buy 3 weeks later, that's supposed to be picked up in the conversion tracking in their Google Ads account. Google Ads is going to undercount most of the sales like that. And so a better indication as to how well this is working for you on a bottom line basis is just track where your sales were on a year-over-year basis before you started this and after you started this, for you to get behind doing this permanently once it's already activated and kicked on and running for your business. I already know that it always is going to get us a return, so I don't need to necessarily do this. But for you, not understanding that the tracking is not going to say X% actually clicked into my ad and bought right away or at all, that it doesn't work. If you look at the overall sales that are coming in both before and after you do this, you'll see the numbers go up. And that'll be the way that you know that this is actually bringing in an extra 10-20% of sales for you on an ongoing basis once this is set up. So 10 or 20% more sales than what the Google Ads already provided you, to be clear there. So what you're looking for is the ratio of overall sales to ad spend before and then after you activate this. Does that ratio actually go up? Am I getting more sales per dollar spent on ads than I had before? That's mainly what you're looking for here. In addition to, is my overall sales going up? Because you want both of those. But you'll see almost always both of those numbers that I just listed going up once you've did the strategy, at least the way that I'm telling you about here, because it's so damn effective. So that's the better way to track if it's working. Obviously, once it's working, you don't have to worry about it anymore. And you'll just keep it going for the next 5 years, 10 years. And it'll just keep churning that much more profit for you on an ongoing basis from then on. So as far as the smart bidding goes, for display campaigns that run these banner ads, typically stay away from smart bidding. Because smart bidding, going back to the bot thing, there's a lot of bots that click through ads, even on YouTube, even though on YouTube it's less than other websites that Google don't own that your banner ads can run on through Google Display Network. It's still not good. So smart bidding seems to get you a lot of bot traffic, particularly if you don't have your tracking set up the way that I mentioned, where you're actually trying to track qualified leads, not just a lead coming in, but qualified leads, and ultimately don't have actual cart revenue coming in to have the smart bidding run off of, and or you're relying on just time on site as an indicator of whether or not that campaign or visitor came in was working, and to ultimately use that to get more of the same. Smart bidding is not very smart as it comes to display campaigns, to keep it simple and short here, because of all the bot clicks and so forth. So we usually just use manual bidding. Use manual bidding, set up the tracking that I mentioned, and use that tracking data that you do have to kind of redisperse the budget to the parts that are producing above average and taking it up from the part of the campaign that is doing it below average. And that'll be able to walk up and maximize the actual total return you'll get out of that strategy that you set up here that I talked about today. So no smart bidding, go for just regular manual bidding. You'll typically get better results. If you want to do smart bidding, I'd eventually do smart bidding after you've gotten a lot of results already and your results are stable with the manual bidding. But even then, 95% of the time, smart bidding is not going to be typically what I use. But there are occasions it does actually take it to the next level and does really well. So there's no hard and fast rule there. At the very least, you should start out with manual bidding until it's already profitable. Because if you start out with smart bidding right away, or too quickly, we'll say, you're going to end up with a mess, basically, a lot of the times. And for you guys that need to get things working so you don't run out of money and you're just out of the game, you stay away from smart bidding until you know you've got rock stable performance with the manual bidding, and go that general direction with it specifically. So I think I pretty much shared everything I want to share about this today. If you have any questions, leave me a comment below. I get back to every single person who leaves me a comment on this channel, usually within a couple days' time. If you have any questions about anything you're doing PPC-wise, feel free to also leave me a comment. I'd be happy to try to share my expertise on the topic if I can help you. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you would give it a like and consider subscribing, as I have a ton of other content on this channel that I want to share with you on how to make millions of dollars with your ads. And if you follow no other content than what I share with you on this particular channel and executed on it, you would be able to make the millions of dollars with your ads, given what we're sharing with you here is the actual stuff that's out there working, that we're testing with our clients' accounts, and that's working, and in which we are using to guarantee our clients' results at our firm. So there is no better information as far as I'm concerned, or I've ever seen, than what you're going to find here on this channel specifically on practical advice on how to make money with PPC on Google, Facebook, and so forth. If you like the channel, you can also find my blog at guaranteedppc.com/blog, where we have other strategies that can guarantee your results on your PPC campaigns. If you are looking for somebody to just take over your PPC and get you the guaranteed results that you're looking for, I offer that as a service at our PPC firm, where I strategize the proper strategy that can get you results. We don't actually take fees until you've earned an X% more profit from your ads as it currently exists, or gotten to a certain level of profitability. We don't work with just any client, but you can contact us and we can let you know how much profit we can make in addition to what you're making now or in general with your ads. If it looks like a great opportunity that we can really crush for you, we'll work with you and not take fees up front as a part of our guaranteed service. So if you're interested in that, you can reach out to our firm, let us know what you're doing, and we'll give you our opinion on what we can do, how we can do it. Beyond that, though, I'll wrap it up with that. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on my next video where we have another great strategy for you then. Peace out.